The main thing that happened to my mom, and the main thing that I just keep telling everybody is if you think something is wrong and you are not getting the answers that you need, you have to keep trying. Oh gosh, my mom's journey was about 8 years long from diagnosis to the time she passed away. My aunt passed away from breast cancer in 2005. And then when my mom was diagnosed, they thought there might be a family connection. They did the testing, which, I mean, it's pretty limited even now what they have available for genetic testing. They didn't find a family connection, but 2 weeks after my mom passed away, her other sister was also diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and she just passed away this last summer. So even though they say that the genetics isn't there, we're not so sure that that's the case in our family. And so if you start to see any kind of trend like that, or you know anything like that in your family, it's very important to stay up on that and see what kind of new things are coming out as far as genetic testing goes, because I mean, every day they're coming out with new things and new treatments and stuff's getting better and better. I don't know earlier diagnosis. All three sisters were diagnosed at very, very late stages, partially because in the case of ovarian cancer, it's very hard to detect. Me and my sisters and my cousins, there's a lot of girls in our family all related to these three women who have all passed away from these kinds of cancers. She's really encouraging us to be proactive about our health and what are the things that we can do maybe to prevent it from happening to us as well and to our daughters if we have any. I get sonograms or ultrasounds done every 6 months, and along with a blood test too. They check my CA-125, so they track me in different ways to make sure that if something is genetic and it is going to happen to me, that they catch it really, really early, because ovarian and breast cancer usually between the ages of 35 to 50 is like the prime time for people getting diagnosed. Just don't be afraid to get tested. Don't be embarrassed by your symptoms. Nobody is going to shame you. Go in, get checked. It'll make yourself feel better, and if you do catch it, the earlier you catch it, the better. The more the likelihood statistically of you surviving are much, much higher the earlier you catch it. The main thing that happened to my mom, and the main thing that I just keep telling everybody is if you think something is wrong and you are not getting the answers that you need, you have to keep trying. Unusual bowel movements, unusual pain in your abdomen, pelvic area, troubles with urinating or bleeding, unusual bleeding, all of those things that people don't like to talk about, and can be related to things that maybe don't seem so sinister, oftentimes are signs of cancer. And since there's no easy way to test for especially ovarian cancer, you can't just take a blood sample and say, okay, yes, you do or you don't have it. It's really important to pay attention to those symptoms, especially if they seem to continue for a long period of time. You definitely can't be afraid or embarrassed about those things. You have to go get those things checked out. The cool thing about the Cancer Center here is that we've met some really incredible people. Dr. Hope is just absolutely wonderful. Her whole team is really amazing. And she and my mom got along really, really well. So she's a fabulous person, just fantastic to be around. And she does so much outside of her job, I think, to support the community here. And then, even further on, some of the counselors here and some of the people in palliative care, really, really phenomenal people to talk to. It's just that support, you do feel supported.